How would you like to automatically win 5 to 10 new top customers or clients each month? People read about you, find what they look for online, and then they call you to place an order. Fully automatical and predictable. Isn't that the case with every website? No, for more than 50 years, not anymore. Just put a website online and then the customers come has not worked for a long time. So let's take a look how things usually are. It's the classic. We are making a new website and then the customers are coming. We are really accelerating things right now in theory. So what you see on the right side is an accelerator from Mercedes SL. People are doing new designs for the website. They make new photos of the office and the cars, new photos of the staff sitting smiling at their desks, and then you have the big website launch party. And then the sad result, high costs but no rewards. The sad reality of what I call hope marketing. So you do meetings, you make photo sessions, you have numerous designs, technical trainings, all these things, but the real goal, more customers, had been completely forgotten. So the bitter consequences of hope marketing are much time and money is wasted on nonsensical work, motivation and commitment of own employees is destroyed, customers are lost to the competitors, dropping sales and equal or even rising costs. And all in all, you have lower chances against competitors in the displacement competition. What I also see very often is the agency solution with a content management system, CMS. So what is the content management system? It's a system where you can change the content of a website yourself. So this sounds very good in theory, but you have high to very high costs for planning and design. And you normally have high monthly costs for using the CMS. It's not with all CMS, some are free, but even then you have the costs for the planning, for the design, and you have the costs for the person who does it in the end. And still you have a wrong goal when creating the website, and you have a very time-consuming time because of meetings and decisions and all these things related with that. In the end, you have high financial investments for the maintenance of the CMS. Is online marketing not working? Well, online marketing is working, of course, but you have to do it right. Only companies that have a real marketing system installed can claim that their car is going faster when they hit the accelerator. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 7 horrible mistakes people are making all the time in online marketing, and the 2 most important things you need to do in online marketing. And I'll show you a simple 4-phase system that automatically attracts customers. If you want to learn how to do online marketing or digital marketing the right way, then you should stay and watch the rest of this presentation. So who am I? My name is Thomas Perosi. I help businesses get high-value clients using digital marketing. I studied computer science or information technology, IT as you might call it. I'm a cybernetics expert and a software developer. What is a cybernetic expert? Simple, a person who likes to build systems and keep control over them. So I build a system, see what's working and what's not working, and I change it so as long as it's not working until the day when it's working, and then I'm satisfied. I'm a digital marketing expert since 2002. And I'm a hobby pilot since 1992. The top 3 categories of companies I work with are industrial companies that want to digitize their advertising, construction companies that want to dominate the area, and in general companies that do not have a proper online strategy yet. What do my clients typically want? They want more interested buyers, more solvent customers, and more sales and profit per customer. On an example of one of my clients from the construction industry, he used to work with ads in the yellow pages and they suddenly stopped working. So mainly because people hardly look into these books anymore. So he had a website online, but it was more like a business card and did not really work because it was hard to find on Google. He was on page 3, sometimes page 4. Well, obviously he was on page 1 when you looked for his name and for the city he used to work in, but that's not interesting, because you need to be on page 1 for the things you do and not for your name. Everything else is stupid, because people who do not know you cannot look for your name. So it started to get really bad when his competitors started to hunt customers in the home area of my client, which normally doesn't happen, because in the area he was working, the niche he was working, the way costs are very high, and normally he does not travel more than like 100 kilometers. And so when that still happened, he was in trouble, and he got fewer and fewer requests and a low order volume and lower prices per contract. So how do I support my clients? First of all, with clear instructions for interested parties. Second, with search engine optimization, SEO. And of course, with a clear and tidy design and a new look of the website in corporate colors. This normally leads to a significant increase in visitors to the website and much more specific requests and orders through the websites. Why are my clients successful? I can explain it best with the first flight attempts of the engine flight pioneers around 1900 in Europe and the US. Let's have a look at one of these fantastic machines. That was Trajan Vuja and his plane. And when you look at it, you feel there is something wrong. That will not work. What is wrong here? Well, it's easy to see. It has an engine on the left side, so far so good. It has a propeller, also good. But when you look at the wings on the right side, well, they don't really look like this whole thing could fly. The failed engine and flight pioneers tried to fly with pure engine power without really considering the aerodynamics. And while most engine flight pioneers were obsessed with even more powerful engines, even bigger engines and stronger engines in order to be able to finally fly, the successful pioneers chose a completely different approach. This is Gustav Weiskopf and of course the famous Wright brothers. What did Gustav Weiskopf and the famous Wright brothers do differently? They first made the glider fly without an engine by considering the aerodynamics to be the most important thing. And only after that was achieved, after the plane was really gliding, they added the engine. What does this mean for your website and for your customer acquisition? Take a few seconds and let that thought really sink in, because what I'm going to tell you is exactly the opposite of what virtually everyone in the field of online marketing is telling you. In the area of online marketing, the history of engine obsession repeats itself, which already did not lead to the desired success back in the time of the engine flight pioneers. Most online marketeers are eager to use the latest technique, create Facebook fan pages, send Twitter messages, and install the latest gimmicks and shiny objects, and totally forget to convert traffic into paying customers. But this reminds us painfully of the futile attempts to simply add an even more powerful and more complex engine to a flying machine which cannot even glide. Analog to the engine flight pioneers, I would therefore like to propose a different strategy. But before we get to the two most important things you need to do in digital marketing, I would like to redeem another promise which I gave you earlier. I'll show you 7 horrible mistakes that almost everyone makes in online marketing. Okay, let's start with mistake 1. No online marketing at all. Like, doesn't Google do it? Many companies rely on what I call hope marketing. People hope that Google will put their website on the first page. They make a website and then they hope for the best. And for fear of mistakes, they prefer to do nothing at all. However, search engine optimization, SEO, and getting traffic on the website is an active process. Mistake number 2, the wrong approach. Everything fancy for Google. The opposite is done very often as well. People write content for search engines only. So the actual addressee of the website is forgotten. Or they even exaggerate search engine optimization, and which leads in worst case to a ban from the search results by Google, because Google considers the website search engine spam. Mistake 3 is the wrong perspective. I. This is the most common mistake I see, because companies put their office, their cars, their employees in the foreground and start from that side. But important thing is, sorry, but nobody really cares about you. Your potential future customer is looking for a solution to his problem. He's not looking for you, he's looking for a solution to his problem. Mistake 4, all in one go. Long pages are handy. That comes from web designers. They put all on a long page with lots of effects. So you scroll down the page and things go left and right, they fly in and out, they go big and small, and when you hover over something, something else comes super nice and fancy. But only people do that who do not understand the technology of Google, because Google rates pages and not domains. This means if you have a domain and you have like 30, 50 or 100 pages on your domain, every page has a special rate from Google, because some pages are more interesting to Google than others. And if you put all on one long page, then you mess up the whole process. And this wrong format makes it very difficult for search engines, and the result is you are on page 3, 4 or 5, so invisible. Mistake 5, not enough text, like keep it simple, stupid. While a human reader may be able to fill in the blanks, a search engine algorithm works totally different than humans. And what is logical for you is not necessarily self-explanatory for your customer, and definitely not for a search algorithm. You must not forget, you have only a few seconds. If a customer does not find a solution on your website within a few seconds, he is gone. Mistake 6, no text with pictures, like can't you see it? Search engines cannot yet recognize the content of images. So to make images recognizable, there are simple technical solutions, and you have to use them. Most people don't, and they have wrong formats and use bad techniques. So your images are not being indexed by Google, and you totally miss out on all the opportunities of Google image search, which a lot of people really use. Mistake 7, no keyword research. I know my customers, one of my favorites. Decisions are made instinctively, because people think, I know what my people look for. No, in most cases you really don't know. So the keyword research is not or hardly done, and all the long tail keywords are not considered. What is a long tail keyword? Let's say you're in a construction work and you say house building is a keyword, and building a nice house for a reasonable price would be a long tail keyword. Hardly anyone is considering these long tail keywords, but you can really be on top of Google for these long tail keywords. It's really should consider these long tail keywords. And all the buy keywords are left on the table, like buy house, reasonable price. It's long tail keyword. And the most important thing is the customer must always be the center. Now we focus on the two most important things you need to do in digital marketing. Do you remember our engine flight pioneers? Okay, according to that, action 1. The first step is about creating a website that gets potential customers to contact you. You need the right message. And only if that works, then comes step 2. After this is achieved, then we will scale the whole process, meaning leading more visitors to your website. You absolutely need quality and quantity. It doesn't make sense if you have a super nice website which works fine, but there's no traffic. And also it doesn't work if you have lots of traffic and people are just looking around and then leaving. So you need both these things. Only if these two important factors work seamlessly together, then the magic happens. People open their wallets, hand out money, or a credit card. And then that's where the fun starts. If you really earn money with your website, if that all works, then, well, if you are into something like that, or this, or whatever you do with your money, but in the end, it is all about money. Either way you turn it. If you don't earn money with a company, you cannot pay for your office, you cannot pay for your phone, you cannot pay your employees. It's so obvious, but we always need to remember it's about the money flow. So, and that was not all. Now comes the best. Now comes a simple 4-phase system which wins customers fully automatically. Phase 1, market analysis and customer definition. We not only define the market exactly, but also your customer. We identify and describe your favorite customer. And the entire future and further campaign addresses this customer specifically. Like an example from my experience, I had a company in the construction area talking to me, and the SEO had a meeting with me, and I wanted to define these things, and he said, no, it's not necessary. It's obvious people want to build a house when that's my customer. I said, yeah, but first of all, we need to define your region. It doesn't make sense to attract customers which are hundreds of kilometers away. And second, you have a specific house category. He was building houses for individual people with individual plans, but based on ready-made plans. So he had a special price range and customer range, and you really need to address that or it does not work. Phase 2. Once you have your favorite customer, you create the ideal message for your favorite customer. So what goals does your customer have? What is your customer most afraid of? What frustrates your customer the most? And what does your customer want the most? Phase 3, construction of the glider. Design and structure of the website will be adapted or completely rebuilt. Adjustment of all pictures and texts to address your favorite customer. All the necessary media like pictures and films are created. And then we do a proof of concept. What's a proof of concept? It means we see if that really works, what we did. Because it doesn't make sense to just make it up in our own head and hope for the best. No, we need to try it. And only if the whole system works, only if the website works, if the people, if the customers really come and call and do things, then it makes sense to go to phase 4, which is the installation of the engine. So that is search engine optimization, SEO. It's Google ads or Facebook ads. We enable additional traffic sources, and we add an automatic ordering if possible. So to put it all together, we start with our favorite customer. Then once we have your favorite customer identified and described, then we are creating the ideal message for your favorite customer. Then comes the construction of the glider, and once the glider is flying, then comes the installation of the engine. Do you want to know more about how I can help you get more customers, more sales, and more profit within a very short time? Click on the button below and we will arrange a free 45-minute strategy session on the phone where you can ask me any question and where I will explain the system in detail so that you can figure out if that is for you or not. So a free 45-minute strategy session is on prosy.info/appointment/ or just click on the button below. I'm looking forward to our phone call.